Hi everyone, my name is Lee. Welcome to my channel Kola Flipper. I'm a part-time UK reseller. I buy items second-hand at car boot sales and charity shops, and I flip them online for a profit. So today I've been to a car boot sale and spent about 120 quid, and it's been a good day. I think, looking at comps quickly, I should be able to get somewhere around that £1,100 mark as potential sales value, so it's been a pretty good morning. I did pick up quite a lot of stuff, and I don't think I can fit it into a half-hour video, so I'm probably going to split it into two sections, but I'll see how we go. But there's a whole load of clothes, boots and shoes, including a pair of boots which are about £800 new. Lots of clothing, games, retro bits and pieces, retro cameras, so yes, there's some interesting bits and pieces, so I guess I should take you through it all. So one of my first pickups were the Wii Fit boards. There was a guy who was doing a clear out, and I asked how much they were. He only wanted a £5 each, so a £5 each. I didn't even bother unpacking them to have a look. Wii Fit boards generally, well, in lockdown I was selling them at £45 including postage, but obviously people can get out and around to do their fitness now, so they're not commanding that sort of price, but I still should be able to get around the £25 plus postage mark or thereabouts. So hopefully they're working, but I didn't, just early on in the morning I haven't got time to open everything up and check everything, because all the other people, there's lots of other resellers out there digging through stuff, so I had to take a bit of a punt. He did have some gaming in amongst one of his other boxes, and at £5 each I thought, you know, that's a safe bet, decent margin to be made there. But any sort of big box gaming, any sort of gaming stuff in a special edition box, you're usually gonna find there's some sort of price premium with regards to resale. I know nothing about this game, BioShock, but because it came in the big box, I thought I'd have a look. But it's meant to come with quite a few bits and pieces. Unfortunately, when I opened it up, it did not have everything there, which I did point out to the gen, and so you've got some cool artwork on the inner sleeve in a box. But inside, there wasn't an awful lot. There was basically the soundtrack. So you've got soundtrack CD and a soundtrack LP. So I thought, well, I shall take a punt. Potentially I would take a punt, and I basically pointed out to him that, oh, it's actually not got the game in there, the game's missing. So, oh, I've got some games. So I had a look through, wasn't in there. And he said, make me an offer. And I said, what about £11 for the lot? And yeah, he took it. So basically I paid £1 for this BioShock special edition box of missing stuff. These, so I should be able to make the £25 plus my postage, so that's a safe sort of £20 margin before fees. With it, and these are quick and easy flips, as long as they're working, even if the batteries are corroded, they're easy to clean. So I'll get them cleaned up, tested, that's not a drama. With regards to this, I thought, well, the options are, I try and look to complete the package. So comps for this complete, somewhere between sort of the £48 and £60 mark. But, so I've got the option of either buying the missing bits and pieces, so guidebook and the game, or having a look. It looks like the LP and the CD soundtrack, if I just sell those off on their own, they're potentially 30 quid. So even though it's got a load of stuff missing, there's still a potential 30 odd pounds there. So that could be quite interesting. So I'll see how that goes. But they're my first early pickups, and quite happy with that. One of my later pickups though was, everyone should recognise this, Super Nintendo. So this is essentially the second console I ever owned. The wires are a bit loose on the controllers, but I can fix that, take them apart and sort that out. This one, there's no cracks or smashes or anything, or dents in the actual chassis. There's a bit of yellowing at the back, but I can clean that up and use a combination of peroxide mixed with oxy action, stuff that you use for the washing. You mix that up and you can basically then bleach away the yellow, the aging of the plastic, to increase the price. There's no power supply. I do need to get that, and that's probably going to cost me about 7 quid. But once that's tested and looking good, I should be able to get £50+ for that, £60. The guy was asking for 20. I am denied because I wasn't really sure what the value is on these, because I haven't sold any SNESs for a long time now. So I went and had a look, and it does look like they go around the £50–60 mark if they're in good condition. So I'll spend a little bit of time and give it some care and attention that it needs and make it look fantastic. So as long as that's working, we're in good shape. Yeah, he wanted 20, I paid 15, so should be able to do okay there. Got a few camera pickups. Not sure if one of them's a fail or not, but basically I think I've underpaid for one and I've overpaid for the other, so I think when you look at the prices combined, it's not too bad, but I do need to do a little bit of digging on this one. So this is a Polaroid land camera. It's the one that says the button on it, and that was a grand total of 50p. So that's 50p for that one, and it's the old-fashioned ones where the flash, rather than having a built-in or a pop-up flash, you have these, which basically 10 flashes, so that slots into the top, and each bulb is single use, so I don't even know if these have been used, so I'd need to have a look and find out. But it was 50p for that, 50p for this, so I paid £1 all in, and that included the instructions. I don't know what this goes for, but the camera on its own, they tend to go, as long as they're working, so I do need to test it, 25-ish, so that's quite safe. A pound all in into 25 plus, that should be fine as long as that's working. Now I think I underpaid for that one. This one I think I may have overpaid, but when you average it out, so this I paid £12 for, so if you look at it at £13 for the pair, £6.50 each, that's fine. Why I paid up for this one, A, it's got a box, but it isn't just that it's got a box. We've got new and sealed Polaroid film. The battery's probably gone in it, but it's new and sealed. Got your original instruction booklet, and I think this may be new and unused because we've got all your paperwork, but inside we've got the original Polaroid neck strap, I don't even know what that is. It looks unused. It looks like the sort of, I've never seen that before. Bring it up so you can have a look. So it looks like it's something to help you open up and peel the film apart. But I've never ever seen that. Oh, so used for for developing film below 18 degrees. That's interesting. So I've never ever seen that. So it comes with all your original polystyrene. And this, I think this genuinely may never have been used. It looks immaculate. So that is pretty cool. So I don't know if I have overpaid or not. But my thoughts were, if the standard one goes for £25, £30 maybe at a push, if it's got a box, and it may not be unused, but because it had all the original polystyrene inserts, your instructions and warranty cards, unused film, neck strap unused, I thought it was probably means it's going to be worth more. So okay, I've spent a little bit more on this one, but it could be worth a lot more. Genuinely don't know what the comps are going to be, but I would have thought it's going to be more than £30. So between them, should get at least £50 back, and I've had a £13 outlay. So yeah, quite happy with that. So I'll just get this packed up and I'll move on to the next item in a second. So next, and I think last camera item, it's a Pentax point and shoot zoom camera. It's a Pentax SBO 120. I've sold one of these before for think it's about 35 quid. They can, depending on condition and if they're in the black or silver, they can go for up to around the £50 mark. This one got its pouch. It's in very good condition, no snags, marks, scratches or anything, so it's been looked after with boxing instructions. I would have thought I'd be able to push above £40, so I paid £4 for that, so 4 out for 40 back as a minimum. That should be okay. So it's a Pentax, Minolta, Canon, they're all good brands to keep an eye out for, and 35mm they still sell. I've been selling them regularly, so if I can pick up a good one for £4, £5, I will do. So yeah, a couple of Minoltas I've sold for over 50. So yeah, great little pickup for £4. Should be somewhere around the £40 mark. I would have thought. Might be able to push a little bit higher. And again, because it's small, I don't mind storing it for a bit. So I might start at 50, but if someone offers me 40, I'll probably take it. So yeah, that's the great. Oh, and it came with unused piece of film. Now, obviously the film's way out of date, but if someone wants to use it for testing, they've got that there. So yeah, not too bad a start. Now, this is my last non-clothing footwear pickup for the day. Not just a cast iron pan, it's a skillet. It's a Le Creuset cast iron griddle pan skillet. I don't know what they are new, but I think it's probably close to probably the £90 mark at least. Anything by Le Creuset is very expensive. I don't think this is a particularly old one, but even second hand, a cast iron griddle from Le Creuset, if it's a square one with the handle, they're around the sort of £45 upwards. These ones seem to go for 50 to 60. So yes, it's going to be heavy to post. I haven't weighed it, but it's going to be more than 2 kilos, I would have thought. But yeah, this should go for around the 50 to 60 pound mark. I'll clean it up, get it looking as well. The good thing about cast iron is, and this is not, a lot of the Creuset stuff is enamelled, and on the inside as well, where it can show damage and dirt even if you clean them well. Being cast iron, I'll be able to get that looking pretty much brand new again because it's got no coating of any kind, and I should be able to get that done quite easily. They wanted 15. I walked away to go and check prices and realised, yeah, I need to get back there quickly. Offered them 10 and they met us in the middle at £12. So yeah, fantastic pickup for £12. Yes, it's heavy. Yes, I've invested £12 in a lump of metal, but if I can get 50-ish pounds back, well into the money on that one. Just show the logo so you can see that. As you can see, it does need a clean, but that is the important thing you're looking for, Le Creuset. So yeah, whenever you see that, you can make some money. I have done really well on closed shoes and boots today. Some really good pickups, quite a lot of Ugg boots, but whilst they do need a bit of cleaning, there can be an awful lot of margin if you pick up the right items at the right prices. So I'll start with the Uggs. These two pairs here, these are all separate sellers, £5 a pair. These are in good condition. Need a little clean, but easily should be able to get around £40 minimum for those. I can push for higher. These are slightly taller boots, you can see the height difference. These ones need more cleaning, but the main things are that the cloth edge around the front hasn't worn out. That's something you definitely need to check, and obviously you check the undersides for wear. Things to note with Uggs is there's always the risk of them being fake. The worst fakes, it's not real sheepskin on the inside. Now a genuine Ugg, because it's the sheep, the actual shearling is on the inside, the other side of that is literally the suede. Where fakes, you'll find that it's like a fake suede and a fake sheepskin bonded together. So you can often pull them apart and feel like the material's sort of pulling apart. There are higher quality fakes which can get around it, but there's also a feeling and a weight to an Ugg boot which you can tell the fakes tend to feel a little bit lighter. And the best way of checking is there's sometimes older ones don't have a hologram on the label. Some of the newer ones do have holograms on the label, but it's being familiar with the real deal. My wife wears Ugg boots, so I know what a genuine Ugg looks and feels like. So that genuinely helps. But if you don't have Uggs yourself, or anyone who has Uggs that are real, go into a shop, go and look at them, feel them, pick them up, have a look. And the more familiar you are with a brand and their items and how they make them, the more confident you can be when you're picking them up out in the field. So a £5 each for these two, easily should be about £40+ on those. Need a bit of a clean, but that's not too bad. I still haven't put it together yet, but I have got a full cleaning video on Uggs. I can make disgusting looking Uggs look pretty much brand new. I use very specific cleaning bits and pieces. There's a process to it. It's not quick and instant, but for 20 minutes, half an hour invested, you can get something that is disgusting looking brand new again. So yeah, I'll get that together at some point. But at the minute I've got maybe 15, 20 pairs of Uggs to get through, so I need to get cracking with those as autumn's kicking in now. These ones were cheaper. I've sold these before. I think they're called Kensington, the leather ones. So rather than being the sheep suede, these are actually leather on the outside, which means it's actually a lot easier to clean up and polish up and make look good. But the other thing is they tend to feel like a size down. So if it's a size 6, it's more likely to be a size 5 because there's so much more give in suede than there is in the leather. The leather's a lot stiffer. And people often find they can get their foot in but can't get it around the bend in the ankle. So if they're not your size and you can't check yourself, tend to be about a size smaller. So better wear on the bottom of them. They have a slightly different underneath as well. So these I can polish up to look new. Again, nice genuine Uggs. They also have metal plates on the back. The only thing on this one is the toes are a little bit worn, which isn't ideal, but I can tidy that up and make that look better. But these were only £2. The last set of Kensingtons I sold for, I think I had them up at 65 and I took an offer of 55. So there's money to be made. So £2 now into potentially £50+ fantastic. Right. So this is what I was talking about. This can all be polished up. All these scuffs, I can make that leather look beautiful again. But this cotton join between the upper and the EVA midsole, that's a bit threadbare. I can tidy that up, make it look neater, but it was never going to look fantastic. So the Kensingtons, you've got there's like a biker boot equivalent. So you've got the metal straps. There is some give, and this section there, I was saying there isn't a lot of give. You have got an elasticated bit there, but it's just a little bit tighter. And there's your metal back plate. Whereas these ones, again, you can see they're a little bit mucky, but these will clean up quite nicely. I mean, they're relatively worn, but not horrific. So I should do all right, but then you can see that's in relatively good condition, the cotton seam, and that's something that I can't fix. So yeah, some good money to be made there with Uggs. Now, still on the subject of Uggs, not all Ugg boots look like this. They do have a range of other styles within there, but these are just the classics that or if someone says Ugg boot, that's what you think of. Now, Uggs, they do specialise in sheep-lined footwear. So these also are Ugg. And these sort of little boots here, like worker boots. There's a fair bit of dirt on here. It's not as easy to clean up off this as sort of like a Nubuck leather. So I took a bit of a punt on these. She was asking £5. I'm hoping I can clean them up, but they've not cleaned up Uggs that look like this before. It's a different type of material, so we shall see. If it all goes wrong, I'm making my money back on these. It's not the end of the world. So I've had some good pickups, so I could take a couple of risks. Sometimes with suedes, I don't always want to take a risk. They can be quite difficult, but I know I've made money on these, so it was worth taking a punt on these. And if I can do it, I've learned it's something I can do for next time. So £5 for those. I would have thought getting those looking in good condition, I should have no difficulty getting 40 to 50 pounds for these because of the quality branding. Ugg boots new, if you're not aware, you're looking at 160, 170 pounds depending on the height. So you've got the two different heights of the boot shaft, and that can make a difference. But the reality is they all go fairly well second hand. So the better condition you can make them look, the more it stands out from the rest of the filthy Uggs that you got on eBay. So that's still not quite finished, it's got to dry, but before and after is quite a contrast there. Not perfect, but definitely much more saleable than that. So these were a £5. I reckon I'll get 50 for those. So should do quite well on those, but I ended up getting a little bit of a pile together. So yeah, seen these, grabbed those. She'd said 5 for those. I'm in an iron because of the dirt. And then I noticed these boxed, and I recognised this little logo there. If you can see that, that is LK Bennett. LK Bennett ladies' shoes are expensive. Now these are looked after, clearly looked after. They've got a nice little pair of little slip-on LK Bennetts. They're not going to make me huge money, but when she said 5 for those, I think, oh god, what's she going to ask for the LK Bennetts? I was expecting her to ask maybe £7. These were £70 new, and she wanted 4. So I thought, well, you know what, at £4, I should be able to flip those minimum 20-25. But LK Bennett, last handful of pairs I've sold are between £35 and £50 for a pair. Nicer shoes than these, so these may not go for as much, but that should be an easy £4 into 25 to 35, I would have thought. But rather than just grabbing those, I'd grab these, asked how much they were, and I was humming and ahhing, not really sure what I was going to get. And then I realised these things weren't on the rest of the table. They were sort of hanging on the table with stuff on top, and I didn't realise. So they were hanging on the edge of the table, bits on top. So I took these out to have a look. These are 100% genuine. The LK Bennetts are 100% genuine. I need to do some digging on these. These look brand new and unused. Stuart Weitzman. Very high end shoes. Think similar sort of price range to Jimmy Choo's, that sort of a level. So boots generally decent quality ladies boots. I sell them more in autumn and winter. I sell them typically around the sort of high 20s to mid 30s, and then I've got my higher end ones which I'll sell for a fair bit more. These look brand new and unused. So I wasn't massively familiar with Stuart Weitzman. I recognised the name and I thought that does sound like it's expensive. I do need to check, and that's when I quickly checked, and it was okay. Wow. Well, I didn't check until after I'd bought them, so I thought if I can get a deal on them, then I know that I should be able to get 40 to 50 for those. So I'll take a punt, and I just said how much for the lot, and we ended up agreeing on £11. So those were originally 5. So yeah, so £11 for the 3 lots. These I've had a look on the Stuart Weitzman's website. I can't find the exact model, but the closest I could find was £850, being an over knee boot. So you've got your knee high boots, or calf and up to knee high, and this is over knee. So it's the length of my entire arm. But I'll bring it up a little bit closer. But yeah, about £850 new. I did have a look at sold on eBay. Used but good condition. We're going for sort of the £250 to £400 mark. I'm going to try and push for 300 to 400. We'll see. The only other option I've got, because again I didn't know if this is something that might be copied, but it might be worth me sending these into Vestiaire Collective. I've got some other bits of really high-end stuff that I think will be better off at Vestiaire Collective, because they authenticate items before they sell them on and buy. So it's like eBay, but because it's been checked and guaranteed as genuine, you can get a higher price, but then Vestiaire Collective take a higher percentage, so they're looking closer to 25% of your final sale price. But if it means I can sell them for more than I can on eBay, that's worth doing. But yeah, I'll just bring these up so you can have a look. But hopefully, I would have hoped somewhere in the region of north of £300, I would hope. I do wonder if there may be seconds, because you've got a few little glue marks there, or it could be that they're not genuine. So a few little glue marks, which isn't brilliant, and you've got your Stuart Weitzman, and then it's all SWs, the sole grip, brand new and unused. So yeah, that, I think they are genuine. What I would like to do first though is go into one of the posh shops in town and have a look to see if I can see the real deal, and make up my own decision before sending them off to get them appraised. But or authenticated, appraised, whatever. But I think they are, and if they are, essentially that's, you know, £4 into potentially maybe 300. So pretty good there. And the other thing I saw with these I didn't pick these up straight away. Emma Hope's shoes. Basically, I didn't pick them up because I thought they were fugly. Not my style. Not that any of these are my style, but what made me think about them is that they came with shoe bags again. But these, I don't know, I just didn't think they were very nice. And I was further around the car boot sale, and I saw another lady who was selling. She had a couple of pairs of Prada. Was it sandals? She had some wedges, and in amongst her shoes were some Emma Hope shoes, and they were priced up at 20. And she said, "Oh no, these are genuine." I'm thinking, well, didn't know that anyone would fake them. Which then made me think, well, maybe I need to go back to that first store, because I was only paying a couple of quid, like £3-4 a pair there. So went back round, and yeah, paid £4 for these. They're in excellent condition. They've only been worn a handful of times. I don't know if really that's something that people are going to like. I certainly don't. I haven't actually done any comps. I have no idea what they're worth. The other lady who was selling the Emma Hopes, they were Emma Hopes for Paul Smith. Paul Smith stuff always goes well for me, and it's a high-end brand. So the fact that they work together, I thought, I'm going to go around, I'll take a punt. I haven't got time to muck about, and I thought I'd take a punt on it as £4. I would have thought that, knowing what I get margin-wise on other stuff, I would have thought I've got to be able to sell those for 25 minimum. So let's say that's £4 into 25. I'll be well away with that. But I'm hoping it'll be a little bit more. So once I've had a look at the comps properly, I shall get stuck in. But hopefully more than 25. But if it's £4 into 25, I can live with that. That's not a drama. So yeah, so that, I think, that is not it for shoes. I have got one more pair, which I've done well at. A couple of weeks ago, I recognised, you get to recognise the traders, and there was a trader who was selling it was like a special edition Terminator 2 box set VHS, and when I asked how much that was, she wanted 20, which, not a chance. As I started saying, no, that's fine, she went 15. I was walking away, went down to 10. So she had no idea on the value of stuff, because she was taking a punt high and then just throwing numbers at me to try and get me to buy something. So I've recognised her now, and I know that she had no idea what she's selling, which could be that she's either going to massively overprice something, but she could massively underprice it. So I picked up I saw the logo, Sparco. Sparco make a lot of racing equipment, so steering wheels, racing suits, gloves, boots, that sort of stuff. And these, the box is tatty. These are a pair of Sparco racing boots for driving. So they've got a super flexible sole, really good ankle support, and they've got this heel pad. So when you're using your accelerator and your brake, you pivot on your heel. So I took a punt because I know Sparco steering wheels are expensive, and I know that any sort of race wear usually has to be fireproof. So I do need to check, but I'm sure I saw somewhere it said that these were FIA approved. I don't know, I might have just made that up, that I saw FIA. I can't see that anywhere, but they're Italian made, they're leather and suede, they're quality. And she was asking for £10. I offered 6, we met in the middle at 8 in the end. I've just noticed on here it says that they are karting boots, so these will be for go-karting. In my experience, they were going for about £80 upwards. I don't know if they're barely used or they are brand new, but I cannot actually see any signs of use. I think, yeah, looking at the Velcro, the Velcro's in such good shape. I'm gonna say these are absolutely brand new. Potentially, maybe even 100 for those. So yeah, I should do well. They're, yeah, fantastic pickup. £8 potentially. Let's say it's minimum £80. But if I don't mind holding fast, I might be able to get anywhere up to 100 for those. So I have absolutely smashed it on the boots and shoes today. So so potentially 100 here. Emma Hope shoes, let's say 25 to 30, but looking at the quality, I'm guessing I can probably push for a little bit more as their box. Same with the LK Bennett, so let's say 25 on those, maybe 35, 40 on the Emma Hopes. If these are genuine, potentially the last sold pair I found were 400, so let's say I can get at least 300 for those, that's good. Getting these cleaned up, should be able to get somewhere around the 40 plus, hopefully. I'll probably aim for around 50, but if someone offers me 40, I'll probably take it. All the Ugg boots, minimum I should take is about £40, but I'll push for a little bit more. I'll be able to get those looking good. So yeah, I've cleaned up on shoes and boots this week, so really pleased with that. So yeah, don't pass up shoes and boots. If you can get them at the right prices, there are some really good margins. So on to some men's shirts. All of these from the same gent. So I'll just bring it up to show you the label. That's the label, Claudio Lugli. Now I know this brand, Claudio Lugli, before because I bought a shirt in a charity shop. I think I paid about £4.50, no, £3.50 I paid for it when I was in the charity shop, and I'd never heard of it before, but immediately I could tell it was well made by the quality of the buttons and the stitching. So I did some quick checks whilst I was in the charity shop, and then found out that Claudio Lugli shirts, they sell brand new for sort of £95 upwards. So if you've got a new price of £95, it means its used price is going to be comparably more than, say, a £30 shirt, £40 shirt. So what I like about them is they're quite distinct and different. So whilst they are not to everyone's taste, if there is someone looking for them, then you're going to have specific buyers who are clearly going to look for them because they stand out. They're a little bit different. So things that are different, you've got the contrasting interior on the collar, the placard, you've got multiple colours on that. The stitching around the buttons is quite fancy as well. So the guy wanted £3 each for these. I had a look through it. Most of the other stuff that he had on the rack was not that great, but I managed to find a handful of these Claudio Lugli ones. So again, you've got not to everyone's taste, but you've got this detailing around the collar which is a little bit different. So once we'd had a bit of a chat, I managed to offer him a tenner for 4, which he was happy with. So I say 50p each. I think that's not too bad. See, this is little butterflies. I actually quite like that one. So a little bit different. You got the contrasting collar. That one's quite nice. Actually, I don't mind that hummingbird one either. I don't know if these are going to fit me, but anyway. So yeah, at £95 each, and I've picked up about £400 worth of shirts for a tenner. So there is a second-hand market for them. The previous one I had, again, look at this weird collar. So that collar, it goes down and then back up again. It's got this weird contrasting V on it. So they're very distinctive. But yeah, the last one I sold, I think I put it up for 42.50, and I sold it for 32.50 in the end, taking an offer. So yeah, let's say I take 32 quid on each of these, we're over £120 for a tenner outlay. So yeah, that's what I'll probably aim for, about the same, unless the market's changed massively. And he also had, well, because I then knocked his price down to £2.50 a shirt, he was going to do that for every other shirt. So there's an Armani jeans one here, XL short sleeve, should have no issue shifting that. Got to be honest, I don't know what comparables are for an Armani jeans men's shirt, but extra large is a good size. It's in good condition. I wouldn't have thought I'd have any issue getting at least sort of £17.50 for that, but I reckon I can hold that for a little bit longer and get a little bit more. So that's on the gents shirts. I will now get onto the ladies clothes, and I think we are good after that. Right, the last handful of items. All of these 7 items are from the same seller, and sometimes you'll find that if you've got someone who's clearing out stuff because it no longer fits them, you'll find a lot of similar brands because they've got their own taste and style. So if you find one thing you like, you're quite likely to find more stuff you like. Now, this lady, I noticed Hobbs at first, and I noticed some Karen Millen, and then as I was going through the rack, I found more and more and more. We got chatting, and basically, yeah, she said it just doesn't fit her anymore. And I said, oh, my wife loves Karen Millen. It's really shame. So it's a big shame that they closed down and went bust. And we had a little bit of a chat about that. So if you don't know, Karen Millen, they no longer have a high street presence anymore. Good high street brand. It eventually got sold off. Once they went into administration, they got sold off. So they now have an online presence only. They were bought out by Boohoo. So you can still buy Karen Millen stuff, but online only. It's a real shame because their stuff's really, really nice. So we got chatting about that, built up some rapport. Originally she wanted £3 each, and we settled on a little bit less than that in the end, I think. So I'll go through that in a second. But as well as Karen Millen, got some Hobbs. Always look out for Hobbs. And I've got that, I believe, is the older Hobbs logo, and that is the newer Hobbs. It's very, very similar, but very nice brand. So what is this one? Is that just cotton? Nope, it is silk and wool. So silk and wool. Sorry, I got sniffles. I've just been sneezing a bit. So in the end, I think it would have been, I think she wanted £2.50 each or something, which would have been at £17.50, but we settled on £15.50, which she was happy. She was happy it was going to a good home. It will go to good homes, it's just not my home. So yeah, basically it works out about £2 something each. So Hobbs standard sort of jumper. This is a Hobbs sort of a crossover one. There is a very tiny pull in the back, but that is fixable. A little bit of bobbling, not a problem. So just over £2 something each, really not an issue. The bobbling I can sort out with a DE-BOBBLER, but got some really nice bits. So I think that was the only 2 bits of Hobbs. That's quite nice. Karen Millen top. So each of these, so for example, I've sold a Hobbs cashmere jumper. I sold that last autumn for £55. Neither of those is cashmere, but they're silk mixes. So I wouldn't have thought there'd be any issue getting £25 upwards. Caramel and tops, anywhere between sort of your high teens, so like your 1750s to sort of 35 quid relatively easily. So I would have thought I'd put these on at around the £20 to £30 mark, depending on what the style is and all that. So again, that's quite a nice sort of a cream jumper. That feels nice. Let's check that one is. No, that's just a wool mix, but it's quite nice. So a very minor bit of bobbling. Anything that's white or cream, always have a look for. So all of these I check for snags and holes. There's a tiny snag on one of them, but anything that's light or cream, check it out for stains, because they're an absolute bugger and they just end up being shoe cleaning cloths. This one's quite nice, got a nice puff sleeve on that. So every one of these I should be able to sell for, on average, let's say £25 each. I would have thought £20 to £25 each. So we've got nice fitted shirt there. But yeah, each one of these is at least 10 times my money. If I pay £2 something each and I'm getting 25 each, we're good. So I'll be happy with that. This one's sort of a high necked blouse. So you've got 3 buttons at the top, little peep there. You've got these little silky bits hanging out. What is this? And again, yeah, all the edging silk on that. So again, nice top. So all of these are quite fitted and flatter the slimmer figure. So I think my wife is going to get first dibs on any of those. Anything she doesn't want, I get to sell, and that's how we have a happy family. She gets to get the good stuff, and then I sell everything else. Or if it's really good stuff, I hide it before she gets to see it, which means I still get to sell it, and she'll still benefit because it will go towards like house stuff or holiday or trying to overpay the mortgage. So here we go, another nice caramel on top, but very nice details on it again. So again, that should be easy, £2 something into 20-ish. So I think I've done well there. So my quick calculations on this haul today. What did I say it was? I think it's about 120 I've spent all in, and if I go towards the higher end of the comparables, but not the highest, I reckon I've got £1,100 here before fees. Some might go for a little bit more, some will go for a little bit less. But I tend to price high, take good photos, price high, hold the nerve. At the end of the day, £17.50 outlay, that does not take up a lot of space, and that potentially is going to bring me back over 100 quid, well over 100 quid. So yeah, I would tend to hold my nerve and hold out for the price. One of those sells, the rest are paid for. Therefore, my inventory is free. I don't care how long it costs me to how long it takes to sell after that. So always think about the bigger picture and the long term. As I said, this doesn't work for everyone. I have a normal day job which covers all the bills and everything else, our everyday family living costs. The reselling has built up. The money that we've made from the reselling goes into a pot. Then anything that I spend on the reselling comes out of that, so it's not coming out of our everyday living costs. And it doesn't matter how long it takes to sell, because I'm not reliant on that income. That is extra money that's going to come in, whether it comes in tomorrow, a week's time, 4 weeks' time, 6 months' time, I don't care. It will come back in. So over the last couple of weeks, I've probably invested £1,200, £1,300 at car boot sales. Eventually that will come back in, but some of it's going to take a year to sell, some of it will take a couple of weeks to sell. What I've got to actually start doing is listing some of it, because I've now got 12, I keep buying more storage boxes, so I know roughly how many litres of storage I've got, so probably 1,300 litres of storage now. So I need to really get listing. So if there's another lockdown, I could go a year without sourcing. But I've got high quality items at a low price, and yes, I spent 1,300 quid in the last couple of weeks, but that's from money that's come in from reselling. So it hasn't really cost me anything. All it's cost me is time and effort. So yeah, it should do well. So as I said, that may not work for you, that works for me, and now I know I've got money coming in as and when. Drip feeding doesn't bother me how long it takes for it to come in because I'm not reliant on it. So as a full-timer that may not work for you, but as a part-timer with a day job that guarantees all my safety money, then that makes sense for us. So hopefully that has been useful to you. Hopefully it was vaguely interesting and quite varied. As you can see, I don't just pick up clothes, I don't just pick up electronics, I pick up all sorts. So I didn't really get any sort of antiques or anything this week, but you get what you can. So if you like what you've seen, please give me a thumbs up. It's really, really helpful. Just gone through the 800 mark for subscribers, so if you haven't already subscribed, please do. It really, really helps me. Please give it a thumbs up, because again, that really, really helps me get additional viewers. And yeah, that's it. If you've got any questions or queries, pop them in the comments. But other than that, I shall see you next time. So my name is Lee, and you've been watching me on Kola Flipper. So thanks very much, and see you next time.